Flowers from a Killer. Chapter 3. As I lounged atop my bed, feeling like a caged bird with a particularly luxurious nest, I couldn't help but relate to my feathered companions. The relentless clanging of Sir Ivan's hammer reverberated through the room, signaling the installation of yet another security measure. His sweat-drenched, chocolate-hued skin stood out starkly against his royal blue and gold uniform as he affixed the final bar to my now fortified window. And let me tell you, he looked like a superhero building his own fortress. Ivan stepped back, a triumphant grin illuminating his face as he admired his handiwork. His black dreadlocks swayed like jubilant party streamers as he brushed them away from his eyes, resembling a master craftsman admiring his masterpiece.
Voila! All done, princess! Let's see anyone try to break in now!
He crowed, sounding like he'd just won the Olympics. With a toolbox in hand, he strutted toward the newly reinforced door, now boasting more locks than a chastity belt, and an alarm system that could wake the dead, I swear. If someone so much as sneezed loudly near that door, alarms would blare in 3 kingdoms over. Thanks, Ivan, I muttered wearily, not wanting to burst his bubble. After all, he seemed as pleased as a puppy who'd successfully navigated a minefield without blowing up. I wasn't about to rain on his parade.
You're welcome, princess,
he hummed, disappearing behind the door, which promptly locked itself with a series of satisfying clicks. Flopping back onto my pillow, surrounded by auburn curls, I stared at the ceiling, yearning for a shred of normalcy in my not-so-normal life. Just as I contemplated whether I had the energy to drag myself to lunch, a knock on the door shattered my thoughts. Eyes wide with terror, I remained silent, feeling like the main character in a horror movie about to meet their untimely demise. After an agonizing silence, the locks obediently clicked one by one, and the door swung open, revealing my fiancé, Aaron. Talk about an anticlimax. I emerged from my blanket cocoon, shooting him a glare that could melt steel beams. Aaron, you scared the living daylights out of me, I growled, earning a chuckle from the man himself.
Sorry, sweetheart,
he huffs, planting a kiss on my forehead that melted away my irritation faster than ice cream on a summer day.
I just came to see if you wanted to grab lunch with me,
he offered, a sweet smile tugging at his lips. And just like that, any lingering traces of anger vanished into thin air. Sure, let me just, get ready, I said, glancing down at my bunny pajama bottoms and mussed-up hair. Not exactly the picture of readiness. After a whirlwind of hair fixing and mascara reapplying, I emerged in a pair of jeans that didn't scream, I just rolled out of bed. Okay, I'm ready now, I announced, slipping on my shoes and linking arms with Aaron as we headed out. The door locked behind us with a finality. As we strolled through the eerily unguarded halls, a sense of foreboding gnawed at me like a persistent puppy chewing on a slipper. Hey, Aaron, I began, noting the absence of our usual blue and gold-clad protectors.
Yeah, Sasha,
he replied, his brow furrowing in concern as he took in the deserted corridors. Where are all the guards? I asked, my voice tinged with unease.
I don't know, but I don't like it,
he muttered, pulling me closer as we quickened our pace. We soon found ourselves in the courtyard, where a commotion of angry shouts greeted us. Pushing through the crowd of uniforms, we stumbled upon a scene straight out of a horror movie. Sir Patrick and Sir Thomas, sprawled on the ground, bloodied but miraculously still breathing. Oh no! I gasped, hand flying to my mouth in horror.
But look, they're still alive,
Aaron reassured me, pulling me away from the grisly sight. Well, that's a relief. I sighed, relieved that our guards weren't about to join the ranks of the dearly departed.
We might finally catch this creep,
Aaron growls optimistically, his eyes darting around the courtyard. Before we could dwell on the gruesome scene any longer, Connor, one of our guards, stomped toward us, his face a storm cloud of fury. Aaron swiftly positioned himself between us, ready to defend my honor like a knight in shining armor.
What happened? Why are Sasha's guards injured?
Aaron demanded, his voice a low growl that could rival thunder.
I don't know, Your Highness. You tell me.
Connor spat, stopping just short of Aaron, the tension crackling between them like a poorly wired light bulb.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Aaron shot back, his fists clenched at his sides.
I think you know exactly what I'm suggesting.
Connor accused, arms folded across his chest in a display of defiance.
How dare you? Do you have any idea who you're speaking to?
Aaron roared, his voice echoing through the courtyard like a lion's roar.
Doesn't matter who you are if you're threatening the princess.
Connor shot back, his eyes flashing with defiance.
This is outrageous! Are you accusing me, the princess's fiancé? If anyone's to blame, it's you!
Aaron seethed, his patience wearing thin. Before their verbal sparring could escalate into a full-blown duel, I stepped between them, hands outstretched in a gesture of peace. Enough, both of you. Blaming each other won't solve anything. Connor, what exactly happened? I interjected, hoping to diffuse the tension before things got out of hand.
I'm not sure, Sasha. I was patrolling the halls when I heard a commotion in the courtyard. I gathered some guards and raced to investigate, only to find these two looking like this.
Connor explained, gesturing toward the injured men. Well, hopefully once they wake up we can find out what happened. I mused, running a hand through my curls in frustration. By the way, where are my brother and dad? Shouldn't they be here? I asked, realizing their absence.
The king and prince are in a council meeting with the nobles and couldn't get away. So they asked me to oversee the investigation until they could escape.
Connor replied, shooting a pointed glance at Aaron before turning his attention back to me. Okay, thank you, Connor. You can go check up on your men. Aaron and I are just going to grab something to eat. I dismissed, already mentally planning our escape from the chaos. With Aaron by my side, I led the way back to my room, or so I thought. In my distracted state, I'd somehow managed to drag him to the courtyard. Realizing my mistake, I sheepishly suggested an impromptu picnic instead, hoping to salvage the day with a little al fresco dining.
I don't know about that, Sasha. I really think we should be worrying about the investigation right now, especially Connor. That guard, something about him just doesn't sit right.
Aaron growled, eyes flashing in disdain as his thoughts turned to Connor. Please, I pleaded, turning on the puppy dog eyes that I knew Aaron couldn't resist.
Fine, but I still don't trust him.
End of chapter 3.